What's happening, everybody, and welcome to the newest episode of Blerds in the Hood with me, your resident supervillain, Mr. J. Washington.
And the swaggy blerd, Winston and Marshall, and I'm looking fresh.
He's got a haircut, y'all. Again, I will keep saying this. This is going to be the most awkward week of shit for the next couple of weeks.
Work that girl.
Because he's got a haircut, you guys. And then on my channel, the review for Harley Quinn is going to come up, which we pre-recorded. He got all that damn hair, and now he's here.
It happens, man. It absolutely happens, and I'm not really stressed out about it in the sense that, like, you know what, we did good content then, and sometimes you got to stuff's in the can. You know what I'm saying?
Like that hair.
It is what it is. Yeah, well, my hair's in a bag, honestly, right now. I'm going to actually ritualistically cremate it, burn it.
What he's trying to tell y'all is he's part of the West Indies, and voodoo is in his nature, so he's gonna
make sure nobody gets a hold of my ass. That's what that is.
You need all of the hair. I'm gonna burn it. Add some sage, some nutmeg, and some allspice.
I'm gonna put it in somebody's food, and then I'm gonna control them from the inside. Anyway, our first story is about.
By the way, before they go to the story, as you all can tell, we are still upgrading. We now have some new lovely mics, and we do have the camera situation as well as the way the video is shot, lights and everything. So thank you to everybody who's been supporting. We'll talk a little bit more about that towards the end of the episode.
Yes.
But I wanted to acknowledge you all first and foremost.
We wanted to give an absolute shout out to everybody there. But let's get into our first story. The big thing that happened this past weekend is the Oscars, and hot damn was it popping.
Hot damn.
Hot.
Hey, it's a new day. I feel like that should just play that clip, but I don't know. But I feel like I'll get copyright flagged.
Probably. You probably will. But if you didn't hear, Parasite, the movie from Bong Joon-ho out of South Korea, swept. They took Best Original Screenplay. They took Best International Film. That used to be called the Foreign Language Film. It's now the Best International Film. They took Best Director, and then they shocked everybody. Bong Joon-ho was like, I'm done. I'm going to go drink now. I'm chilling. And then he got Best Picture, dog.
Which, by the way, a lot of people knew international film was between Parasite and Pain and Glory with Antonio Banderas. Now, screenplay, that was up for grabs.
And the funny thing was, that was actually the first award out of the 4 that he received.
Yes.
So that people were very shocked by that. But I was very happy to see, because Marriage Story was up in that category.
1917. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Hold on, I thought 1917 was adapted.
Oh, is it? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's just that when you see the screenplays and stuff so much, I forget which one.
Well, right, because Taika Waititi won adapted for Jojo Rabbit.
Yes.
Which is based off a book. But yes, he won Best Original Screenplay for this, and he went up and he gave a great speech, and then he got back up for international film, and he straight up said, cool, that's it for me, so I'm going to go drink now. Thank you so much. Because he, in his mind, was like, that's only 2 I genuinely saw myself winning. When he got up there for director, he was honestly shocked, and his speech was so brilliant. He quoted Scorsese.
Which we all were, because I don't think, honestly, I did not believe that Scorsese had it. I think he was just nominated for it. Mm-hmm. I didn't believe at first Bong Joon-ho. I said he might have had it. I didn't believe he would get it.
I thought it was coming down to Tarantino and Mendes.
And Mendes. I thought it was Tarantino and Mendes. But that's like I said, it was a possibility, but I said more so Tarantino and Mendes. Like, cool, 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Because it was just those two.
It was just amazing, though, because he quoted Scorsese, which kind of made Scorsese tear up a little bit, and everybody gave a standing ovation to that. And then he said thank you to Tarantino, who was one of the main elements of people, pushing his film out to people. Be like, if you don't know about Bong Joon-ho, if you don't know about Snowpiercer, if you don't know about Okja, if you don't know about Parasite, you need to be watching this guy. So he thanked Tarantino, and then he realized, oh fuck, I gotta find a way to incorporate Mendes and Phillips. And he was like, and Todd and Sam, if I could get a Texas Chainsaw, because when my nigga said, he said Texas Chainsaw, I was like, the fuck is he talking about? And then the translator, they're like, if I get a Texas Chainsaw, I would chop this up into 5 pieces.
Speaking of which, his translator has become the MVP of all of this. No matter how many awards Bong Joon-ho and Parasite won, she had to be up there. Now, what was discovered after the awards is not only is she a translator, but she's a director herself.
Well, the other thing, because some people were like, well, she's not translating directly. She's apparently not even a translator. She's an interpreter. So she obviously can speak both Korean and English. Mm-hmm. But for those that were like, she didn't directly translate everything he was saying all the time, it's just because she's an interpreter. So she obviously, it's hard to differentiate between the two, but it's not necessarily her job to straight
Well,
up
because it's an award speech and you only have a certain amount of time, so she had to condense some of the things he had to say.
That's true.
But again, this won 4 awards and it made history, and it may have to even change the entire paradigm and shifted the way the Academy views cinema as a whole. But a lot of people have had a lot of backlash towards this, more specifically, white America.
It could be one of your kids.
White America.
A little Eric look just like this.
White America.
Which we're getting ahead of ourselves. We'll
talk
cover
about
that
later.
person in a minute. But there were 2 things that stood out in our mind. I guess maybe 3. The first one is this Uncle Tom right here. By the name of John Miller, who's on the Blaze, who said, in a tweet, a man named Bong Joon-ho wins Oscar for Best Original Screenplay over Once Upon a Time in America in 1917. Acceptance speech was great.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That was really...
What did I say?
That was a Freudian slip.
What did I say?
You said Once Upon a Time in America.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood in 1917. Acceptance speech was great honor, thank you. Then he proceeds to give the rest of the speech in Korean. These people are the destruction of America.
Are you fucking dumb? Let me tell you something. I can't say this on Twitter because Twitter will suspend me for 7 days. I might get in trouble on here, but guess what I'm going to say about how I feel about this? You fucking coon. You shoe-shuffling, spear-chucking, porch monkey-ass Negro. How dare you go this way? This is the destruction of America. Because a foreign, international film won, and because this man spoke in his native tongue, hey, you dickhead, I've said it before and I will say it again. America does not have an official language, you stupid racist fuck.
I mean, I would just keep it simple and call him an Uncle Tom. That kind of covers all those bases.
I want to go back to it. You old spear-chucking, shoe-shuffling, old speck in the dark, old...
Jesus!
Shoe polish face ass.
Okay,
minstrel.
The point is before you go full Snoop Dogg on Gayle King about this thing, this dude needs to really just chill the fuck out and understand. I understand that you're cashing a check for your great white masses, so you're gonna be out here saying all this kind of ridiculous shit. But go ahead and let yourself out the sunken place, sir, because you need to understand something. Again, this is a movie that, if for anybody that actually watched it, and we're about to talk about this next guy who clearly didn't. This movie is a movie that speaks to everyone. It does not matter where you're from.
Which brings us to...
I don't care. Shazam. You could have given it to Shazam. I don't care. But a film shouldn't be nominated for Best Foreign Film and then also have the opportunity to win Best Picture. Because none of the other Best Picture nominations had a chance to be nominated for anything else.
My guy, are you serious? Did you just say that the other Best Picture nominees were not eligible to win other awards? Are you fucking stupid? Are you dumb?
Are you dumb?
Are you dumb?
Are you dumb? Are you really, really dumb?
Dude.
How many awards was Joker nominated for?
11.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11.
11 awards. And you only won 2 awards.
Which I'm cool with. But you're telling me because this film won and it was won Best International Film, it shouldn't have won Best Picture? Hey, dipshit, maybe you didn't recall last year when a potential other winner was another international film called Roma. You stupid fuck. You racist pieces of shit. Also, there was another person who I actually know and I'm cool with, and I'm really upset he did this. Comedian Matt Rife went on Twitter and basically said that, the whole audience is worried if the cast of Parasite coughs. Basically trying to reference both China... Koreans, China, don't get it, and the coronavirus. Yo, stop trying to use racist jabs in the form of jokes.
It just doesn't, I mean, it does make sense because of the era that we're in and how things are playing out, but I'm just like very confused in the fact that like a lot of these people that were talking this kind of shit about Parasite, for example, this white dude that just spoke was saying some shit like, raise your hand if you saw it, who saw it?
Fine. But out of everybody in the United States or the motherfucking America, how many people actually fucking seen Parasite? Can someone please raise your goddamn hand and tell me, for the love of Christ, how many fucking people in the United States of a motherfucking America saw Parasite?
Well, first of all, are you aware that no one saw Trumbo? No one saw Bridge of Spies. No one saw Room. No one saw Brooklyn. Most of the movies that come out that get nominated for Best Picture, people have not seen.
So what are you talking? Do you understand who votes on the Academy Awards? Members of the Academy. Do you know who members of the Academy are as a whole? It's a lot of old white people, because that has still been the issue. So guess what? While you're being a racist fuck about that, guess what? Some old white people voted for this movie to be Best Picture.
And the last thing I'll say, because we do have to kind of wrap up our Oscars talk, is that, again, go see Parasite. Before you say something, read a fucking book. so you know how to read. Then read the subtitles, because this movie specifically is dealing with things we're dealing with in America, about the super rich and the super poor, and what happens when one can't take it anymore. That's literally what the movie's about.
So basically, some of the things going on currently in America, kind of like other movies you mentioned, but nonetheless, there were other things, other very notable things that happened during this Academy Award celebration. One in particular being Matthew Cherry and Carol Tolliver winning Karen Tolliver winning Best Animated Short Film for Hair Love.
Oh my God!
Excuse me.
Look at that hair. It is so cute. I don't know where that came from. We're not going to address it. The point is, I'm so glad to see it. I'm so glad to see the representation. My boy DeAndre Jordan, bro. Not DeAndre Jordan is the basketball player. What is his kid's name?
DeAndre something. Yeah, it was like, well, DeAndre Jordan plays.
No, that's the dude that played for the Clippers for a while. I'm going to look the kid's name up. His name is DeAndre. My point, we talked about him in like the first episode. Anyway, the point is, he got to go to the Oscars. So my dude not only
cashed out from Ellen and Alicia Keys, got a trip to the Oscars, not just to be seated in the upper balconies, not just to be in the thing later. You are in the main part where everybody is sitting at. You are sitting next to the nominees. You are mingling with the stars. DeAndre Arnold. People already know who you are because of your story, and it also was reiterated during both Tolliver and Cherry's acceptance speech.
It was absolutely amazing. Some of the other highlights, Hilder, I cannot pronounce her last name, and I'm not going to try and butcher it, won first woman to win Best Original Score.
She's actually the third woman.
Is she?
She's the third.
Why did someone tell me she was the first?
I don't know, but she's the third.
Are you positive? For original score?
I'm positive.
Okay, well, either way, I think what was so amazing, though, is you had presenting her to her, Brie Larson, Captain Marvel. You had Gal Gadot, Wonder Woman, and you had Sigourney Weaver, Ripley. All three of the most powerful female superheroes that we've ever seen in films, delivering to this woman
Ripley
who
was
delivered.
A superhero.
She 100% was a goddamn superhero.
Ripley's a superhero. Because I know some people are like, Ripley's not a superhero.
She may not have powers, but Ripley's a goddamn superhero. All right, the same way Batman's a superhero. At me, I don't give a fuck. All right, look. Either way, that was super dope. And finally, the thing that was kind of weird for everybody, Eminem came out and did Lose Yourself. Like, I mean, that's cool. Why wouldn't 3-6 Mafia there? I would have loved to hear Hard Out Here for a Pill.
They talked about the scores and how music in film becomes sometimes more. The songs. The songs. There are songs with movies that become more than just the movie or more than just the song. And we went through a whole litany of that. Everybody who we were watching the Oscars with, we knew damn near all of it because that's the effect it had. And it closed out with Lose Yourself with Eminem performing. Now, it was cool to see him perform because he had sworn off doing it. Some people didn't like it. Comedian Billy Eichner took to Twitter and said, well, I guess it shows to see that you can still say the F word and still perform at the Oscars. But also, Martin Scorsese was asleep.
I mean, that was kind of funny to me. I mean, and Billie Eilish wasn't having it. She was like, who is this old white dude on the stage?
Which
putting my other old white dude friend to sleep. I don't know.
You might want to check on your hip-hop thing, which you kind of keep getting in trouble for, Billie Eilish.
Well, either way. Yeah, but that was the Oscars as a whole. I really kind of enjoyed it. The one thing I hope they fix this host situation.
This is the second year in a row the Oscars have gone hostless. Now, the first year... Hostless. The first year, of course, the ratings were through the roof because people wanted to see what it would be like. Well, those ratings didn't translate again this year. They were down like almost 20 million viewers or something like that. And they decided to say, hey, let's just have one person introduce another person.
20%, not 20 million viewers.
20%, excuse me, 20%.
20 million viewers would be all the viewers.
Just
everybody said they were out.
20%, excuse
20%,
me. But having...
They had negative viewers because it was like 18.4 or some shit. They had people...
Everybody watching shit on DVR and clips on YouTube, nigga. Ain't nobody watching live. What are you talking about? Ain't nobody watching when it happened? Shit.
It's just interesting because you had amazing moments with like Chris Rock and Steve Martin delivering jokes up top. You had Kristen Wiig and Maya Rudolph killing it. You had Julia Louis-Dreyfus and Will Ferrell killing it. I don't understand
when Will Ferrell said the original title of Ford versus Ferrari
was Ford versus Ferrari versus Ferrell. That was amazing. They're like, oh, we know all about editors. They're the ones that cut all our lines. Like, amazing. It was amazing. And then the earpiece bit, Maya and Kristen coming out there and being like, yo, I'm ticked off.
I'm upset.
I'm angry.
I'm PO'd.
All right, y'all. So if you didn't notice, there's a lot of directors here.
So this is a show we can act.
To just let you know, we're not just comedy. We can do all of it.
Hey, Winston.
Yeah?
I'm hurt.
I understand. It's a lot. See, like
acting.
That? Crying.
Acting.
Crying
acting.
on camera,
That's
on command. That's amazing.
We can do this. Okay?
Wow, we actually did a pretty good job imitating. I'm gonna go to my own horn and shit, but that wasn't bad.
Oh, send him a clip of this. So yeah, that was that. So we'll see what happens next year. I think this might be the end of them going hostless. I think they realize they need somebody to facilitate the show.
Too much talent.
Way too much. But again, it is that controversy behind Kevin Hart because now with Twitter being a thing, and it's a whole long story. We won't go all the way into it, but that may be of some of the like. Ooh, what do we do next year? But they're going to have to suck it up and just go forward. But another big thing that happened this past weekend, football is done, right?
No. I mean, the NFL is.
The NFL is done.
Yeah.
The NFL is done, and with
NFL's
that...
never done.
Well,
they're haunting
the actual
my dreams.
playing season is done. But now trades loom, free agency, who's going to be on what team next year, who's going to stay with a team, who's going to leave a team.
When do trades start? It's a good question because, remember... The trade deadline happens, and that's it for the season. So I'm curious when you're allowed to start trading again.
I think it's going to come up pretty soon.
Is it like
right before the draft?
I'm just curious. Yeah, it's Jinx. You owe me a bubbly. Or Crown Vanilla. Either or. I'll take either one. Oh, Jay.
Thank you.
Oh.
Thank you.
I forgot about that. You can't talk. Damn, I could have kept your ass silent the rest of the show.
You surely could have.
I should have fucking done it.
I felt like Moonchild in the Never Ending Story going, say my name, Bastion, say my name.
Oh, man. I just got to say, we actually recorded this once already, but we had some technical issues because we've got our new equipment and we're trying to figure it out, right? I definitely said some shit that I will probably say again. I'll tell you when I say it again. Just by saying my name like 5 times, oh God. All right, look, NFL is over, but we had some major names sign up for free agency, decide that they're going to go a different direction.
Well, one name did sign. One has been released from his team. Phillip Rivers will no longer, after 16 seasons, be with the Los Angeles former San Diego Chargers. Him and the GM felt that it was best after this season to go their separate ways and to see what the future holds for the team now.
I mean, it's interesting. I mean, some of the other big names, Drew Brees hasn't officially re-signed with the Saints yet. It's kind of up in the air. Dak Prescott still has not gotten that contract. And
his hips don't lie.
Well, the big name is Tom Brady.
Him and his Uggs.
Thomas Jefferson Brady. I'm just going to assume his middle name is Jefferson. I don't know what the fuck his name is. He officially, after being with the Patriots the entirety of his career, has decided to test out the free agency to test the free agency waters. And so he has not officially left the Patriots, but he is open to hearing other deals. So this is very interesting to see what happens.
Middle name really Milk or some shit.
Milk Thomas Milk Brady.
Milk, not Milk.
Oh, Milton is just Thomas Milk Brady. I mean, he's pretty white, bro. I would be surprised. That's why I went with Jefferson.
Now, here's the thing. He has not said that he will go to any other team. He has not said for sure he will not come back to the Patriots. He said he just wants to see what is out there. Now, Tom Brady for years has taken pay cut after pay cut after pay cut because several reasons. One,
you don't need the money.
You don't need the money. Mm-hmm. Your wife makes a bajillion dollars a year.
Also, you've made a lot of money in that in endorsements, so you really don't need it.
You're good. Also, you've always let the money be used to build up your team. Well, now the tables have turned because he's Tom Brady. People are going to back up the truck for him. So it'll be interesting to see if
back it up. Back it up.
For the 99 2000.
Back it up for the 99 and the 2000. Back it up, Tatiana. Back it up. Back it up, Tati. Tommy brought it. Back it up, Tommy Brady. Back it up. Back it up, Tampa Brady. Back it up. I don't know, nigga. It doesn't matter. The point is, it'll be interesting to see who do you think will end up where? What is the biggest free agency name that you're interested in seeing?
I'm interested to see if this actually holds true with the maybe Tom Brady going to the Chargers thing. That has been a big rumor, and Brady wants to go to a new climate. Him, Giselle, and the kids. So why not come to LA to an open market, new stadium? You can be this dude. You can make all this money. Business will work plentiful for both you and your wife. Granted, she worked a lot out of New York, but LA will give her just as much opportunity.
I've been very interested to see. There's a rumor that maybe that Phillip Rivers ends up in New Orleans. Now that could be interesting.
He don't need to be in Mardi Gras with all them babies. He got 11 already. He don't know how to pull out.
Oh my God! Let's go to the XFL. I'm just gonna. That was already.
And the XFL started this weekend. It was the inaugural season of the reboot of the XFL. Remember last time all the players had nicknames. He hate me and so much.
I mean, that was a great nickname.
Yeah, I want that.
It sounds like there's no nicknames anymore.
No, these are all just player jerseys with names. But the thing is, there's certain little rules that are different than the NFL. Nothing that's extreme except for like kickoffs. So on the kickoffs, you kick off from the 25-yard line, right? But you know there are a front line on the kicking and receiving team. Well, those lines cannot move until the ball has been officially kicked. This is to reduce the numbers of injuries due to collisions that happen on these returns.
People running downhill just like full speed. That's exactly how someone gets fucked up.
Yeah,
but yeah, right. But I think the most interesting thing for me is when it was on. My girlfriend Kristen and I were chilling. I was like, "Oh, baby, your team's playing." She's like, "What are you talking about?"
Does your girlfriend have any eligible friends?
Probably.
Why you've never introduced me? See, you're not a real
Because
friend.
you don't come out. I have told you this a million times. You know what? I'm going to call your ass out because you decided you did this to you. I hope you remember this when you rewatch this shit. I called this nigga yesterday. And I was like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm watching Black Line. I'm watching this. And I'm like, nigga, do you ever just take a day for you? He's like, no, not really. It's like, when was the last time you watched a TV show or movie that you didn't review? You just watched it for fun. And he goes, nigga, I'm watching Black Lightning right now. It's just on pause. I don't think I have maybe ever since I started doing this.
Ladies, don't tell me you don't appreciate a man who is dedicated to his work right now.
Yes.
He has nobody in his life.
But guess what? If you are working 7 days a week and you have no time for your lady because all you do is work, you're not going to find one. You have to have enough time to go out and be social, my nigga. This is going to turn into a whole therapy session on camera if that's what you want right now.
And our final news story, Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn.
I didn't even tell my goddamn Kristen story. Now I'm pissed.
Our final story.
Royally pissed.
Okay, Kid Bill, I'm pissed. We're not, black people, we're not a monolith.
We're not a monolith.
We're not a
monolith. Long story short, all Kristen said is I said, hey, maybe your team playing. She's like, Seattle what, for the XFL? I was like, yeah. She's like, what's our mascot? I said, you're the Seattle Dragon. She goes, oh my God, are they all mythical creatures? I would totally watch that.
Which, again, St. Louis has the Battlehawks. But going back to Birds of Prey, it debuted this weekend. The follow-up, St. Louis, did I say St. Louis, right?
You said Seattle.
St. Louis.
Seattle Dragons.
Yeah, whatever. Difference, Battlehawks, Dragons.
Birds of Prey.
Birds of Prey. America. Happy Bird. It's a brand new dance. It's called The Bird. Hey, look, Purple Rain is on Netflix. Birds of Prey debuted this weekend, made $33 million domestically and opened up worldwide at 81.3. Now, it was originally estimated and tracking to make between 45 and 50 million domestically this weekend. And a lot of people are saying, oh, that's because of, well, the lack of promotion, the characters were not interesting, and the Oscars, amongst other things.
I just find it very interesting that, like, did you already mention the tomato meter? I stopped listening for a second.
So,
I mean, real talk. So for those that don't know, we're doing this all by ourselves. So we are obviously talking. We come up with the stories. We set the tech up, all that kind of stuff. So we also have to multitask. So I'm kind of watching the clock right now. So y'all ain't sitting here and be like, are these niggas ever going to shut the fuck up? So I was just keeping an eye on that. So when he was doing that, I was checking the time.
So on the Rotten Tomatoes, it has an 80% positive meter by critics, but audience
79
no,
and
it's
81.
up today. I saw it earlier.
It's up today?
It's up to 80.
Okay.
And the audience is at 81 as well. Now, that's a good thing. But people are saying, why did it go bad? Again, like I said, I believe the Oscars and the promotion was not done well for this because its star was unable to promote it.
Well, not only that, instead of putting the star forward, so for example, the star of like a Spider-Man film is Spider-Man. If you had been like, instead of Far From Home, if you were like Mysterio and his journey to take Spider-Man down and take over S.H.I.E.L.D.
Nigga, everybody
be like, what the fuck is this?
Nobody give a fuck about Mysterio. Now, if you said Doc Ock and his quest to rip Spider-Man limb from limb, I'd have been like, I want to see this.
Nah, but still nobody would check that because us that are comic book geeks would get that, and that's why we got
I would go see that to see a man die on screen.
Nigga, that happens in every fucking superhero or action movie. Did you see John Wick? The first 10 minutes is him killing hella niggas with knives. Just foop, 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 foop. Anyway, the point is, the movie is called Birds of Prey and the Emancipation,
and the
fabulous emancipation of one Harley Quinn. Now, dead. Anyway, the point is, the movie is really not about the Birds of Prey. The movie is about Harley Quinn.
Right.
So in the same way, and this is the joke I was thinking about earlier, in the same way that Destiny's Child was not about Destiny's Child, it was about Beyonce featuring Kelly and Michelle.
And occasionally Latoya and Latavia and Tara. But you don't talk about those people.
We'll talk about the rest of them. The point is the same. It's the same thing here. It's not to say that the Birds of Prey, because again, I bring up Destiny's Child as an example because Kelly is actually killing it overseas and has had her own #1 albums. Michelle is killing it in gospel.
And got stepped over on 1 and 6 in Park.
I'm not going to go there. But it's a situation where the Birds of Prey are very important and they do a lot of really good work. And this movie is also their movie, but the star is very clearly, in this case, Harley Quinn or Beyonce. This is her story. Period. It's about her getting away from Mr. J or the Joker. It's about her stepping out on her own and all that kind of stuff. She happens to come together with a bunch of other badass ladies, and I will not write them off. But that's what this is kind of getting at.
So do you feel, you asked the question prior, and you wrote this in the notes, do you feel that Elizabeth Banks was right about men not wanting to see action women stars?
Now, I think that there are some, because there were plenty of dudes that wanted to troll and were like, I saw a bunch of videos of dudes being like, the movie that everybody's supposedly seeing and it's empty, and then they just wanted to show the empty, like, seats. There are definitely some asshats that is their intention and they really don't care. But
also, those are the same dicks who have no picture as an avatar on any social media platform. And if they're on Facebook, they shit is super tight and private because they know the moment they say something, people coming at their heads.
Yeah. So that you have that particular scenario. But you had mentioned this when we taped this before. The difference was Charlie Angels was problematic for a number of reasons. Not like problematic socially, but problematic
it was set to fail for several reasons.
Yeah.
The star of Charlie's Angels is Kristen Stewart, who nobody gets behind. She's not a star of movies. She's a great supporting actress. You don't have the original trio in Lucy Liu, Drew Barrymore, and Cameron Diaz. You don't have them involved in this movie anywhere at all. And if you're gonna do it, you have to bring them in. Even with the Ghostbusters remake, they found ways to utilize some of the original cast members. You need to do that, but they didn't in this. But also, again, I don't say it. It's a lot of dudes that just wanted this to fail because of what they do.
Well, of course, and that's the shitty part to me. But that's why I made it a. Not only did I go Thursday night, I saw it. I know my girlfriend sometimes is into. She's getting better about liking comic book movies, but I wanted to go see and make sure.
That likes comic book movies.
It's not her favorite, but she's getting more into it. I gotta
have a social life to have.
You have to have a thank you. That's all I'm saying.
I just was doing your own callback.
Thank you, because it's correct. But my point is, I went to go see it a second time with her, and she loved it. Every woman I knew that saw this movie loved it. Every dude that I saw, with the exception of like 2 or 3, loved. And if they didn't love it, they liked it. You know what I'm saying? So like. There's no reason it should have done this bad, but I think the marketing the title has to do with a lot. No Margot, there's a lot going on.
Also, the marketing, before we got to go, the marketing does play a big issue with Margot Robbie because she was not able to do a major press run for Birds of Prey.
This particular week, she was too busy running for Bombshell so she could try and win an Oscar, which I don't blame you. Right. I honestly don't blame you. The
Oscar movies are going to take precedent. It is what it is.
Also, because I'm pretty sure she'll get another Harley Quinn movie, but there's not a guarantee she'll necessarily get another Oscar nomination. And that she might. I think she's a phenomenal actress, so she could.
Tanya now, this. I mean, she's on a roll with getting nominated for Oscars.
I forgot she got nominated for Tanya.
Yes, so,
I completely
forgot. There's so much more, and especially with all these stories we just talked about, we want to know your thoughts about all of this in those comments below, all right? So if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe to this channel, and click on the notification bell and share this video. If you're watching us on Facebook, like the page, like the Blerds in the Hood page, share this video with everybody, so they can see it. And follow us on our social media handles. You see them right here on the screen. There is no reason for either one of us to have to say them. Yes, those reflect Twitter and Instagram, where everybody else is going to.
For me, it's all of it. It's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Letterboxd, and I started a Patreon, patreon.com/swaggyblerd. Thank you so much for everybody that has supported me so far. If you can, if you are willing and able to do so, the Patreon is purely going to money in order to make more content, make more projects, stuff like that. I know, obviously, you've been supporting Jay as well with this. That's how we got these fancy new mics, for example. Please do. If you can't, don't even stress out about it. Just, like, keep rocking with us. The more you push this out, the more you watch it and support it. That by itself is huge.
Absolutely.
It really is.
Absolutely. We very much appreciate you all who do everything. Again, shout out to Legacy Media for the officially certified supervillain hoodies that I have. Thank you so much for all of the dope work you do for us. And to everybody who's been hitting me up talking about doing logos for Blerds in the Hood, entrance videos, entrance music, everything, please send them on our way. We would have no problem utilizing them, and we are very, very grateful for you all right? We will holler at y'all next week. Till then, take care. We out of here. Bah.
Bah. Boop, 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 dead.